Hi everybody, I'm Meteorologist Becky Ditchfield here in the 9 News Weather Center. We are looking at more mild temperatures today, but it's the last day that we're going to see that mild forecast before some big changes make their way back into Colorado. Our weather pattern shifts come tomorrow, and we're going to have more seasonal temperatures move in, and we're also going to see another chance for snow. That's good news. We have been so dry, including through today, but the views have been gorgeous. Right now, we've got mostly sunny skies out over places like Horsetooth Reservoir. Temperatures are in the 60s already for most locations across the Front Range. Fort Collins looking at mostly sunny skies. Denver, not a cloud in sight. Same goes for the mountains. Bluebird skies up over Loveland Ski area, and for folks who are driving up and through the Eisenhower and Johnson tunnels. Out at the airport at 64 degrees. Our winds there out of the south-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Dew point is at 0. Our humidity 8%. It is going to take a lot of moisture to return to the state to get the air saturated enough to produce some snow showers, but that should be happening. It's just going to take another 1.5 to 2 days before that snow arrives. 66 degrees will be our high in the meantime today, so please get out and enjoy this. 60 for Greeley, 62 around Fort Collins. Yuma reaches 62, Burlington 65. Mountain areas will be in the upper 30s with highs near 50 out across the western slope. But we've got some pretty big changes that are on the horizon and a couple of different things going on that will help to produce those changes here across Colorado. The first is this upper level low that right now is sitting just off of the California coast. You can see the counterclockwise spin just off the Baja Peninsula. It is right here. That's the upper level low that's basically been sitting very close to Southern California for the last couple of days. It's separated off, and I know we've talked about this, from the main jet stream, but is expected to be reabsorbed by the jet, and that will help to push it east. So that's one of the things and one of the elements that is going on. Here's what that looks like. So the white arrows is the jet stream. Those are the really strong winds that sit about 40,000 feet above the surface of the earth. It separates out oftentimes mild air from really cold air. Cold air sits to its north, mild air sits to its south. We have a really big ridge in place. We oftentimes will see a really mild and dry forecast. But underneath that is this cut-off low. Cold air over the next 24 hours is going to dive south, so will those strongest winds. That's going to help to pick up that upper level low and push it east, carrying its moisture with it. At the surface, we've got a cold front that will be moving in. So that cold air will also be coming behind the cold front. That will lower our temperatures enough to help produce some more moisture and for that moisture to be snow. Cold air does not hold as much moisture as warm air does. So it won't take as much for that cold air to produce the snow showers that we're expecting. Now, the upper level low is also going to play a pretty big role in this because it is expected to move into that southeast corner of the state. And that's going to bring some easterly winds, or at least a light easterly component in our winds, to Denver and the foothills. And that is upslope. And that will help to produce the snow showers that we are anticipating. Most of that snow will start late Thursday night. So with that cold front that moves in, we'll get some clouds. The atmosphere will start to get a little bit more moisture, but it's going to take all day before it becomes saturated enough to produce those snow showers. We're looking at the snow showers first starting across our southern mountains, moving up north into the Continental Divide with that upslope, and eventually crossing I-25. And that happens during the overnight. We will see snow lightly fall off and on throughout your Friday. It's not going to be a huge system, certainly not for the metro area, not for the Front Range, not even for mountain areas. We may see upwards of 5-6 inches of snow fall max across some of those mountain areas, especially along the Continental Divide and perhaps down through the southwest San Juans. But that's it from this round. As it ends Friday night, we're not done. We've got yet another wave that will move through, and this will hit our northern and central mountains first before it pushes east of I-25. And we are expecting to see some light to moderate snow east of I-25 Saturday late in the afternoon and into Saturday evening. Now, I'm going to put a big asterisk by this because there is a lot more uncertainty with that second wave than with the first wave. So I've got a forecast for snow for the first wave, but I would like to see a little more consistency with the weather model runs before we get into forecasting snow for that second wave. At this point, it does look like that second wave could produce more snow than the first, but I want to give it at least another 12, if not another 24 hours before we get into that. So let's talk about that first wave that starts to hit Thursday night. This looks to bring some accumulating snow, though it will be light to places from Fort Collins all the way down to Castle Rock. So 1 to 3 inches is what it looks like that will be. 1 to 4 inches possibly down near Castle Rock if you live on the southwest side of town. Highlands Ranch through Carroll, we could see 2 to 4 inches of snow for you, with 2 to 5 falling in our foothills, stretching on up into the Continental Divide. Some of our highest mountain passes could see up to 6 inches of snow from that round. The next round is a little bit more complicated, as I mentioned. It does move in Saturday afternoon and continues into Saturday night, but should be done by Sunday. So while we wait for all of that to arrive, we're going to see a high of 66 today. A lot of sunshine. Please get out and enjoy it. We do get mild temperatures through the winter, but these have been exceptionally warm, and it's been great weather to go out and enjoy the great outdoors of Colorado. We'll drop to 28 tonight with partly cloudy skies, so those clouds increase. We'll have mostly cloudy skies through tomorrow with a high of just 42. And for the next at least 7 days, we are going to stay at, if not below average. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be chilly with highs in the low 30s. We have a chance for that light snow to start late Thursday. That'll be overnight for the Denver area. It'll continue to lightly fall through Friday. Friday night, that round wraps up, and another one will push in Saturday afternoon, and that lasts through Saturday evening. 30 will be the high on Saturday. Sunday does look drier for the state. Partly cloudy skies expected here in Denver. We'll get gusty. It'll be chilly with a high of 32. We briefly warm up into the low 40s Monday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be dry, and temperatures will vary between the 30s and the 40s. So that is what we've got going on here with the storm system that is getting ready to move in. I am going to, let's see, where do I want to put this? Let's put this on this snow forecast, because I'm going to go now into our Facebook page. I'm going to check to see if any of you have any questions that I can address as far as the snow forecast goes. All right, so I am in here. Hello, Susan, Shelia. I hope I'm pronouncing your your name correctly. Everybody is saying, let it snow up. Some people don't want snow. That's okay. We need it. We've got drought conditions. Here's again, current U.S. drought monitor. A new one will come out on Thursday, so tomorrow. But most of the desert Southwest is under that exceptional drought, and that does include western Colorado. So western Colorado is under the exceptional drought. We even have some exceptional drought areas that sit just south of Denver. Most of the city is under the extreme drought, and then you get up into parts of Fort Collins and also Greeley, and it's severe drought there. So we need this moisture. Also, oh, you know what? Hi, Yvonne. I did not address this before, and I know I promised this yesterday when we talked about it. I know that the upcoming snow forecast is very important, but I have also gotten a lot of questions about Christmas. Will we see a white Christmas? To answer the short question, I don't know fully this year because my forecast does not go that far out, but I can tell you some statistics. So it depends, statistically, it really depends on how you measure it. If you determine a white Christmas by there being snow on the ground, an inch of snow on the ground or more might determine a white Christmas for you. That has happened in Denver 38% of the time. As for snow falling on Christmas Day, so falling from the sky, typically in order to count it, we would have to get 1/10 of an inch of snow falling or more. That's only happened 14% of the time. So the chances of snow actually falling on Christmas Day itself much lower than having snow on the ground. Over the last 30 years, we have seen snow falling on Christmas Day 7 times. We have had snow on the ground on Christmas Day 14 of the last 30 years. So the odds are better that we'll have snow on the ground than for it to actually fall. So that's your Christmas forecast. Let's see. Josie's asking if it's going to snow in the San Luis Valley. Okay, great question. I know I did not go over that. So here's the state forecast, and let's step through this pretty slowly. So this starts Thursday afternoon at 1, and at that point in time, it does look like most of the state will be under mostly cloudy skies. We might be getting some light rain or snow just outside of Alamosa and outside of the San Luis Valley. but likely it's going to be hitting mountain areas first. It'll be moving into the San Juans by about 4:30 in the evening, then crosses over to the wet mountains, moves up to, and we'll start to see snow develop Thursday night through the foothills and along the Continental Divide. And then I think it's going to be overnight that snow crosses over east of I-25. But during that time, San Luis Valley, yes, it does look like Thursday night you will see a chance for some snow. And that will continue even into Friday morning, and it'll likely taper off Friday afternoon. So the area of heavier snow by Friday afternoon will shift a little further to the north over places like Aspen and Vail. And then Denver will still be seeing some light snow off and on Friday afternoon. That round wraps up for everyone, including mountain areas, overnight Friday and into Saturday. Then the next round moves in, and this one comes in from the northwest, so it behaves a little bit differently, bringing heavier snow to our northern and central mountains, not quite making its way into the San Luis Valley until maybe Saturday night. But this may stay just north of that area. And this one could bring heavier snow to Denver and certainly our northern and central mountains than that first round. And this is the one where I just have some uncertainty. Now, the last model run showed some more consistency between the two long-term models that I can look at, weather models that I can look at. And that's hopeful for me that we're going to I'll start to have a better idea on that forecast tomorrow. But I want to see consistency, not just from one run, but for a couple of runs before I feel confident enough to give you guys a forecast. And I think that we'll be there tomorrow. But today I can tell you that it looks like even places around southwest Colorado from this first storm may see upwards of, I think, maximum, especially lower elevations, 4 inches of snow. You get up higher and you can see up to 6 inches of snow from this first wave. It's going to be pretty light. But the second wave does look to be a little bit heavier. And quite honestly, could hit and move through faster, which would make it even worse for road conditions, not only in the mountains, but also here along and east of I-25 as that moves through. Oh, Leo, that brings me to that question. Will the roads be slick during the nighttime? I don't get off work until 10 p.m. in Golden. So Leo, I'm gonna guess that you are asking about Thursday night? Yeah, Thursday night and not Saturday night, unless you work Saturday night, and then that's a different question. But Thursday night they may be. I mean, we've been pretty warm. This system that moves through, let's see, overnight lows tomorrow night. I'll show you that in the planning forecast. So Thursday morning will be in the upper 20s, and then Thursday night to Friday we drop into the low 20s. Definitely cold enough that we could see some slick spots on the roads, and possibly anything that starts to fall. If it does melt, it may freeze, especially on bridges and overpasses, so that'd be something that I'd watch. But Thursday night to early Friday, this is not going to be a big system for Denver, Fort Collins, even Greeley. I would say about an inch may fall at the most Thursday night to Friday morning, and then it's going to take all day Friday to Friday night to get another inch of snow, maybe 2 on top of that here around the metro area. It'll be a different story if you live in our foothills, because we are expecting 2 to 5 inches of snow for you. So that snow will come, a little bit faster. But again, most of our accumulation with this happens on Friday during the afternoon, and it's not going to be a huge hitting system Thursday night and into early Friday morning. Yes, okay, so that does answer the question. All right, does anybody have any other questions about the snow? I actually will go over this again in case for those people who are joining us a little bit late. Really mild today. Today it's going to be so nice outside. Temperatures in the middle 60s, 66 here for Denver, 60 around Greeley, 62 in Fort Collins. Mountain areas get into the upper 30s, lower to middle 60s out east on the plains. The system that's going to be changing things up for us does sit off the coast at this point. It's an upper level low pressure system. I can identify that by the counterclockwise circulation that I'm seeing within the satellite imagery here just outside or to the west of the Baja Peninsula. As that sits there, our main jet stream pattern is going to change enough that those strongest winds aloft will drop south over the western half of the country, and that's going to help to pick up that upper level low and push it east. And it's going to bring its moisture with it, which is great news for a very dry Colorado. Along with that, a surface cold front moves in, so that will help to drop our temperatures. And that also means it's going to be a little bit easier for that snow to develop because cold air doesn't hold as much water, so the air should get saturated a little bit faster. We have been so dry. It's going to take still all day Thursday for the air to get saturated across Colorado. 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon, mostly cloudy skies across the state. I'm not anticipating that snow to start until late Thursday night. That's both for southern mountains and for the mountains that sit just west of I-25 along the Continental Divide through the foothills and well into the overnight while you're sleeping here for Denver. That went through really fast. So I'm going to back it up. So there's 9 a.m. We may be seeing some light snow at 9 a.m. on Friday in Denver, Fort Collins, Greeley, and see the snow will continue to fall off and on through Friday and into Friday evening. To me, it looks like we get about an inch of snow overnight, maybe an inch and a half for some areas around Denver to early Friday morning, and then it takes the rest of the afternoon to get another inch and a half of snow to fall, and then that system will wrap up. The second one does look to be a little more potent, bringing some heavier snow to our mountains and to areas along and east of I-25 here across the Front Range. We may see more snow accumulation out of that, but I want to give my weather models another couple of runs to be a little bit more consistent before I give you before I'm more confident, I'll put it that way, in giving you a forecast for that round. First round will bring about 1 to 3 inches of snow from Fort Collins down to Denver, 1 to 4 inches for Castle Rock, 2 to 5 across our foothills, upwards of 6 inches of snow to some mountain areas. But this is mainly going to be a light upslope event for us, and that's why we're seeing some of those heavier totals on the west side of town, stretching up through our foothills and also down towards the south over the Palmer Divide. We will see temperatures really drop with this. It's not going to be bitterly cold. Not bitterly cold, but cold enough. It'll be a shock to the system. Hey, we're going from the 60s today to the low 30s Friday and Saturday. 40s in between, so 40s, low 40s on Thursday, start of Hanukkah. Most of the day will be dry. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. Snow moves in. We'll see low 30s for highs Friday and Saturday. Last round of snow moves out Saturday night and into early Sunday. So Sunday will be partly cloudy during the day, but still cold and gusty with a high of 32. And when we get those winds, it does just make it feel that much colder outside. As for the rest of next week, it doesn't look like we've got a lot of chances for more storm systems to move in the next several days. Monday through Wednesday, at least look dry, but we're going to stay cool with temperatures in the 30s and 40s. So that's what's going on with the storm system that we'll be approaching. We're going to continue to be updating those potential snow total numbers through the day. Danielle Grant is going to be in tonight, and she'll have an updated forecast for you on 9 News at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10.